Please be seated. I'd like to invite forward now Whitney and Jesse. Yes? No, just Whitney from Catch to speak about Avenues of Hope, for Hope.
Hi everyone, as Andrew mentioned, my name is Whitney from Catch. I know most all of you in this room know who we are, but for those of you who don't, we are a nonprofit organization working to end homelessness in the Treasure Valley, and we operate under the Housing First model, so let's get a roof over your head, and then our case managers will walk alongside you to face whatever other barriers that you're facing until you are stabilized. It is my honor today to introduce you to someone who is going to tell you her story of resilience and courage. Missy graduated from our program earlier this year, and I'm just going to let her do the talking because she's much better at it than I am. So please welcome Missy.
Hello and good morning. Thank you for letting me come and share my story with you today. Just a little history about me. I grew up here in Boise. I was born at the St. Luke's down the street, and so are my children. We love this city. We have tried very hard to maintain a house here, a home here. There are times when things get really difficult. The pandemic was one of those things. It affected everyone's life. During that time, I lost 2 forms of employment. I worked for the Boise School District, and I was also a kitchen manager. Both those things closed down. I had no idea what to do. I had never gone without work. That's just not who I am. I love working. I started to struggle financially, but then I was able to find some good employment. I thought I was getting back up there, back on my feet, and then the owners of the house I was renting wanted to move back in. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I'll find somewhere else. I had no idea that the competition for housing was wild. You know, I thought I could just apply for a place and get it. That's what had always happened. I was wrong. I couldn't find a place. I had spent lots of money and time searching anything with no success. It was hard for me, because it was something I hadn't experienced. You know, if I worked hard, had good credit, never been evicted, I should be able to find a place. It was really hard for me. I ended up becoming homeless. My children had to live with my ex-husband full time, and depression just started to sink in. I felt very hopeless. I had never gone without my kids since they were born. And I was sleeping in my car. I never imagined that I would end up in that position. I started to struggle with my mental health, something that I've struggled with my whole life, but this was worse. This was probably the worst. I started drinking, not just a little bit, a lot. It was starting to ruin my life. I ended up in a mental facility where I got much needed treatment and resources. I was able to, get a diagnosis for my disability and get the treatment that I needed so that I could be mentally healthy. But when I got out of the hospital, I was still homeless. I ended up staying with people who were not safe people, and I ended up being abused by a man I was staying with. And I ended up at the WCA. I was so excited for even just the temporary housing that they offered. It was really, really great. I was connected with Catch around that time as well. And I applied for WCA and Catch at the same time, and lucky for me, they both responded around the same time. So when I got the call from Catch, as nervous as I was, I went down there and I met with my case manager, who ended up being Jessie. I don't know if you guys have met her yet, but she is brilliant. She calmed me with her positivity. She was non-judgmental, and I could tell that she really genuinely wanted to help me. We quickly got to discussing the details of the program and what was expected of me. It didn't seem real, you know, I didn't know what I had done to deserve this. I didn't know, you know, where it was coming from, but I was so grateful. And, you know, I felt like I didn't really have anything to lose. It did seem a little too good to be true. So I quickly got the documents together that were requested, and I turned them in. And very shortly after, I think we had only had a couple of meetings, we applied for my first place. It was scary. And the shocking thing is I got approved on the first try. So I was really scared. I didn't know if I was ready. You know, I hadn't been housed for a couple years at this point, and I was scared I wasn't going to be able to just bounce right back to the person I was. And so many thoughts were racing through my mind. And so I decided to share my concerns with Jessie, which was a really good idea. She reassured me that the program does not abandon people once they get them housed. You know, she worked with me in so many different ways to make sure I was stable. I couldn't believe it. I had only been at the WCA for a month, and then I had got housing. I signed my lease just a few days before Christmas last year. It was the best Christmas present for my children and I. We have loved this place. My kids and I were able to stay there for Christmas last year, and it was amazing. Catch definitely gave us the best Christmas present. The support didn't end there. I had weekly meetings with my case manager, and we worked on goals so that I could become independent and stay independent. She helped me actively pursue these goals. She didn't just tell me what to do and expect me to do it. She said, how can I help you achieve these goals? And as long as I did my part and she did her part, we were successful. But she helped me work on things like a budget. They helped me with a savings match. She helped me make sure I was taking care of my health issues, you know, so that I could stay mentally stable. And she would also check in on my kids and make sure they had everything they need. You know, I'm still just so blessed that I was part of this program. Throughout the year working with Jessie, I was able to become mentally stable. I was able to find good employment so I could support myself. And I truly feel like Catch helped me get my life back. I would like to thank you for having me this morning, and I hope that you have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much, Missy, for sharing your story. Missy and I will be in the back after the service is concluded. If you'd like to come talk to us, we are in, as you heard from there, this is a collaborative effort. We cannot end homelessness alone. It's just one person, one family at a time. Every family, every person, a home. Right now, we are raising money through Avenues for Hope, which is a competition among all of the nonprofits working to end homelessness or providing services in that realm. So we are accepting